Hi everyone, Sophia here for my great challenge. Welcome back. This is day 9 of my 30 bags in 30 days challenge, and there's some changes happening today. So for those of you who've been watching this series for a while, you know what I'm doing. I'm spending the entire month of April to completely purge my house of all of the trash and clutter and hoard and whatever you want to call it that I've accumulated over the past, I don't know, 23 years I've been in this country, and plus my husband's stuff and the kids and multiple purchases and double and triple and quadruple purchases of the absolute same items. If I was to open a stationery store, I think I would do very well. It's just between the pens and the post-its, you gotta laugh at it because otherwise you get all depressed, okay? So as I'm doing this video series, I'm becoming more and more aware of some of the issues, in particular the I'll do it later problem, okay? It's one thing to say just in case. I've talked about that 2 videos ago. The just in case rule, I think it's just gonna go out the door because there's never gonna be the case. We already talked about that. But there's another issue here, and a lot of you asked me yesterday in the last video or the video before that, why do I keep my kids' homework? Okay, so last night I was reading in bed and I just couldn't concentrate on my reading. I wasn't enjoying it at all. You know, this is like what I do when I go to bed for about an hour, and it's just like the thing just kept on bothering me, like, why am I keeping the kids' homework? Well, there's various reasons, okay? One is memorabilia. 2 is because I am a tactile person and I love paper, obviously because of the books. I love penmanship and drawings and things like this. And then we're going to do a little bit of armchair psychology here. The reality is that there is only one hand-drawn or handwritten piece of paper from my entire childhood, just one. I'm looking for it now, so hold on one second, I'll show it to you. Okay, so here it is. That's it. That's all there is. That was done in 1976 by me, and there is absolutely no other evidence aside from a few pictures that I once was a child, and that really bothers me. I would really like to know what my handwriting looked like and how my handwriting has evolved over the years. So I guess that's one of the reasons why I'm keeping the kids' homework. Maybe I'm just transferring my issues, I guess, onto them. But these are the albums that I had upstairs in the office. So if you remember from my office makeover, I also have those 2 boxes here that are the Pendaflex, you know, file folder boxes. I have one for William and one for Edward, and over the years I've been putting memorabilia in there, and this is the stuff that I really want to keep. And the goal here is to have a box per child, and then that's it, just 1 box. So the road to hell is paved with good intentions, obviously, because I have memorabilia in here that's already been sorted and divided between the 2 of them, but I also have more in some of the albums here, you can see. And then there's the 2 boxes of homework that I put back in that closet. Last night I was lying down in bed trying to read, and it was just bothering me. I said to myself, listen, like, I don't mind keeping the homework. Obviously I don't have to keep all of it, and I haven't, because those boxes are not, for, in the case of Edward, 11 years worth of school, but I don't have to keep all of it. And I had created those 2 boxes for the purpose of really sorting out and only keeping those items that I wanted to keep, including the portrait pictures and all of that. So instead of putting the boxes back, I caught myself saying yesterday, okay, let me put them back and then I'll sort them out later. This is what I'm going to do today, because ultimately this is part of decluttering. I'm going to get rid of most of it, and I'm only going to keep those items that are, you know, worthy of notice and that I want to keep. And maybe, you know, they can sort through it later on when they're 45 years old if they want it. The bottom line is that I have 2 boxes. There's one for Edward, one for William, and then I had 3 other boxes boxes that I had in the garage for the purpose of doing one for Scott, one for me, and one for the family in general. Not necessarily us, but you know, the family memorabilia, like my parents or Scott's parents, the grandparents and all of that. And I just never got around to do it. So now that I'm doing this 30 bags in 30-day challenge, now is the time to do this, not later when I got time. I have 30 days to declutter. Hopefully those 2 boxes will be out of the tank room by the end of this journey, and I will have boxes I intended to have that are going to contain our memorabilia, and I will add on to the content of the boxes, but that's it. Once the boxes are full, I will have to go through them again and repurge until I just have a box of memorabilia, and when Edward is ready to have it, I'll just give him his box. When William is ready to have his, I'll give him his box, and then when they want to see our memorabilia, it's going to be in there. Scott has some stuff upstairs that I put in a container as well for him for memorabilia. It's going to be transferred to his box here, and those 5 boxes are going to go in there. So when you open the tank room, you're going to see those 5 boxes, and each is going to have our name, and our stuff is going to go in there. And that's the way I wanted it to begin with, and that's the way I'm doing it today. So let's get started. Okay, so I really hope you can hear me and see me. Okay, I see you. Yes, all right, good boy. I'm gonna get started. I have the 2 kids boxes here. This is gonna get covered in paper, I'm pretty sure. So I'm gonna put William's box here, and hold on. This is Edward's box, and then I have my 3 other boxes here with the phones. I just got a new phone, by the way, today. It took 3 hours. 3 hours at T-Mobile for them to transfer all the data from my old Galaxy to the new one. I got the S7 Edge. I think it's all right. I like the Android better than the iPhone. Scott is an iPhone person. I'm not. All right, and here are the other ones. So this are the 3 boxes that were in the garage for that purpose. Another one here, that's going to be Scott. And here is going to be the family in general. And these are some of those Pendaflex that I probably will use later. So, you know what? Might as well just start with the stuff that I had upstairs. I know for a fact that these are all albums of old family pictures. And I guess maybe you want to see them. So I'm just going to turn the camera around so you can see what I'm talking about. This is one of the albums that I had quickly put together when we moved from Ohio to here of family pictures. And it's just, these are all my family pictures. So, you know, I'll give you an example. Here's me right there with the nanny. What else do we have? Here's another baby picture of me right here. There's not a lot of baby pictures. Oh, look at that. Look at my teenage years. Yikes! Look at this. Scary. I always like this one on the top. I don't know why, but scary stuff. More pictures. So you see, oh, here's me the day I was born, right? And so there's a little bit of a mishmash of everything in there. It's just basically pictures that I want to keep. Let me see. I'm just going to go through it real quick. And then some of the pages have nothing in it. And these are old and busted. So guess what? These I'm not keeping. First of all, they are not the acid-free type because back in the day they weren't doing that yet. So I know that this is going to go to trash. Nobody wants non-acid-free stuff. So these, I'm just going to take them out of the binder. I'm not keeping the binder. And this stack like this, I'm putting it in a Pendaflex file like this. And since this is entirely pictures that belong to me and my memorabilia, it's going to go into my box. I hope you get the point. So here's the other one. So here we're talking more about, this is my mom back in the 60s with my sister when she was barely a year old. So we're talking 63 here, right? And very, very old pictures. My mom when she was in school. Yeah, so this is my brother when he was a little kid. So anyway, so yeah, first communion for my mom, my old dog. These are all my nephew, school pictures. I love this one. This is Edward when he was, let me see, that was February of 2003. So he's barely a year old there. He's about 10 months. My birth announcement right here, another picture of me at birth. So see, there's not a lot. Mom and dad. So I'm doing the same thing here. And the intention here with those pictures eventually is for me to scan them, create digital files, and then scrapbook them. I just never got around to do it. Maybe if I wasn't shuffling stuff left and right in this house, I would have time to do what I really, really like to do, which is scrapbooking and photo retouching. So again, they go into Appendaflex. At some point, I'm going to get into albums that are Scott's family pictures. So that's going to go in his box. That's my mom in 1944. More pictures. This is all me. This is all this is me being moody, 1986. Yeah, this is all family pictures. Ah, I love it. This one I love. This is my great aunt. That's my grandmother's sister. So anyway, these are all mine. My dad's birth certificate. See, they were organized already. They weren't just, you know, not being placed where they needed to be. So that goes in here. And that box, again, is just going to be labeled Sophia, because this is my memorabilia, nobody else's. And I'm not keeping the binders. All right. And I'm not going through those pictures. These are all pictures that I want to keep. There's no point of me looking through those pictures and trying to figure out. Okay, so now this is family stuff. So that's going into the family box over there. And whenever I can use Appendaflex, I'm going to use that. This is family records, so that goes in here. William did that. I'm keeping this. These are portrait pictures. This I don't know if I've ever showed you, but this is a drawing that I made that I sent to my mom, and that's what I wanted as a baby, what do you call it, bassinet. I had found the fabric at IKEA. There were sheets and comforter covers, and she actually did make it. And if only I could find a picture for you, you would see she exactly made this. That was William's baby thing. I think I have a picture in there. So anyway, that's that. So this is going into William, because these are the cards that we received after he was born, and only the ones that I wanted to keep. This is a family tree. Okay, Scott did this. That's gonna go in his box. Yeah, that goes in Scott's box. These are little stories that I used to send to the grandparents. You know, like little advertisement or pamphlets of the kids. So this is Edward. That goes to his box. See, I gotta keep this. That's Batman by Edward at age 4. I'm keeping that. Now behind I have something that belongs to the family, so that's gonna be divided. And this is family, family, family. And then this was, I had a really hard time breastfeeding Edward, and I mean, like, seriously. Lasted 9 months, but after 9 months couldn't take it anymore. So I was actually doing a chart, okay, of how much he was, you know, feeding and how many times. And anyway, so that was January 2002. So I'm keeping that. And then this is another one with Edward right here. You can't see him, but that's Edward. So this is a self-portrait that Scott did when he was a little guy. So that goes in his box. And then these are difficult. These are pictures we took right after September 11. I don't know if you can see it, but anyway, you can see the buildings that have collapsed. Like it was about 3 days after September 11. We were allowed to go there, so. And that's the, in our old apartment in Brooklyn, that's me, I'm pregnant there. Let me see, September, I'm about 3.5 months pregnant, and that's me baking cookies for the firemen on our street in Brooklyn, who were just like going non-stop 24/7 back and forth to the World Trade Center to clean up and hopefully find people survived. Of course, we all know they never did, but I made them cookies for a couple of days and they were very, very happy about that. So that I'm keeping, and that's going in my memorabilia. And this you're gonna think I'm a nut. These are sleeping charts that I made for Edward, who had colic for a long time. So I was doing sleeping charts, and the black is him sleeping, you can see, and the white is him not sleeping. God, it drove us nuts. I am keeping this as a revenge. Alright, so these are the ones that I had stashed back in the tank room, and obviously these are the ones I'm going to go through. The rest I had already gone through, I said that, and I wanted to keep everything that was in there. But here I'm really not sure. So I'm just going to go through this, and I'm going to keep only a few of them, only because I agree, I just can't keep everything. So I'm done with this one binder. These are all the homework that I'm discarding. Now come on, give me a thumbs up. I'm doing an effort here, alright? This was not easy. It really wasn't easy. These are all the plastic sleeves that I've collected in the process. So I'd say I'd purged at least 70% of what was in there. And this and the binder is going to the bag. And now moving on to the second binder, and I'm going to do exactly the same thing. It's just a lot of plastic sleeves, and the process to put it together was very tedious, and now I can't believe I have to just undo the whole thing. I'm not keeping the binders because I glued them, they busted on the side. I mean, come on. 2006. This is so hard. I do want to keep the plastic sleeves though, so I'm just going to go through the whole thing, and whatever I'm keeping I'm putting again in this box, and then I'll sort it out again, you know, just to kind of like categorize and organize it a little bit more. And then I have this one to do after that, which is miscellaneous family pictures, which what I'm going to do is probably just remove them from those, because the majority of them are pictures of us. Edward when he was a little guy. Here's another family picture that was before William was even born. And then it goes on and on. This is when William was born. And then there's a little bit of everything. There's the family, sonograms, more of Edward, our wedding right here. A few pictures of our wedding. Yeah, I got to sort through all of this because some of it is mine and some of it is Scott, some of it is Edward, some of it is William. Anyway, I'm not there, I'm digressing, I'm doing something other because I really don't want to do that. Not because I don't want to get rid of stuff, but because the whole process of removing the paper from those sleeves is just, is not pleasant. And yeah, now that I look at it, I realize like not everything should have been kept. I'm only keeping, by the way, if you're wondering what's helping me make a decision making, I'm only keeping the ones that are very compelling. I've dated I can't believe this, look at that. I dated and wrote at the bottom of every single one of them. Like, who's got time for that? Wow. Okay, this I'm keeping because there's a story behind it that you don't need to know, but there's a story behind it and I'll remember it. So, we're having a crisis, you guys. I'm halfway through this binder, and these are all the ones that I'm getting rid of, and here are all the plastic sleeves that I've collected from it. And it's not that the process is tedious and mind-numbing. I'm just emotionally, this is not helping me at all. I'm really having a hard time not making decision because I would like to keep every single one of them. I realize I can't. I just can't keep everything. Alright, so I'm going to close this and it's going to the trash just like that. I don't care about the plastic sleeves. I just don't want to go through it anymore. I really don't. I got way too much stuff to do. This is overwhelming and it's just not a task that I wanted to do. That's why it's been on the back burner for so long. I just didn't want to have to do this. If it was up to me, I would keep all of it. But I recognize that I just can't push all of my, you know, desire to keep this stuff onto my kids and say, hey, here's your homework for the last 18 years. I just can't do that. So I have to, you know, deal with it, and I'm gonna do that. So the only way I can deal with it right now is step away from it. Sophia, step away from this. I'm gonna have a cup of tea. I'm gonna put that in a bag. I'm gonna seal the bag and get it out of the way, and then I'm gonna move on to the rest of the box, because this whole thing here, part of it is also my staying with Edward for the first few years of his life and homeschooling him. So a lot of things that are in here are things that I've done with him. You know, that mom bonding thing. So I just feel like I'm discarding that, and it's just not in a good place, you guys. This sucks. This really sucks. I gotta have a hot tea, and I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna put that in a bag and I'm gonna put it out of sight. Maybe that's gonna help. I have so many of these now. I don't even know what to do with them. I have about 200 of them already in the office upstairs. This is just insane. Oh, okay. I'll see you in a second. Okay, I'm back. That was tough. Anyway, I had a tea. I'm drinking a glass of water. I'm gonna put it to the side and tackling this because I need to step away from the kids' homework for a minute. And this is just things that I need to pull out. So if it's Edward, it goes in Edward. If it's, yeah, this is mostly, no, that's Willie. This is Edward. This is Willie. So I'm gonna have to do this here. These are not acid free. I should just remove the pictures from the stuff, but not now. So that's Edward. That goes to me. That's Willie. Look, I don't know if you can see it. Alright, so that was Willie when he was born. Okay, so that was in Willie's box. This is another Willie. That was Edward's room. Probably can't see this too much, but this is me and my sister, and that was quite some time ago. I would say 1998. Look, that's cool. This I did. That's Scott on this side right here with his dad, and that's his dad with Edward about 65 years later. That is really, really cool. That I'm definitely keeping, and that's going in Edward's box. So here's the second and last box, and if you remember, this one has a lot of pictures, so I have to be careful with that. So family pictures goes here. That's mine, and I'm gonna put that in family pictures. This is Willie, Scott. This, what is this? Ah, my glasses. London, Thursday, June 99, 1815. Ah, that's Waterloo. Times office, Thursday morning, 8 o'clock, 1815. We stopped the press to insert the following letter receiving this morning by Lord Mayor. Downing Street, June 22nd, 1815 at 1 a.m. My Lord, I have the greatest satisfaction in informing your Lordship that the Honourable Major Percy is just arrived with dispatches from the Duke of Wellington, dated Waterloo, the 19th instant, containing the account of a most decisive and glorious victory having been obtained over the whole of the French army by the Allied forces on the 18th instant, the result of which has been the overthrow of the French army with the loss of more than 200 pieces of artillery, an immense quantity of ammunition, and a part of the baggage belonging to Bonaparte. And here's the list of all of the injured and those who died. This is super important stuff. We agree that's a keep. Okay, tiny picture of the family. William Constellations, no. This is a mini scrapbooking album I had made that's entirely done in digital scrapbook. It was the year in review 2009, and I had extra copies. I gotta keep them in order. And then everybody in the family got some of those. See? So this is all digital scrapbooking, you guys. You remember I told you that was my little hobby, my real hobby is digital scrapbooking. I absolutely love doing that. So I make little albums like this. You know, it takes a while, but I love doing this. So this I'm definitely keeping, putting it back in here. That goes into the family. This is pretty cool. You guys are gonna like this. Okay, so this is Scott's father. This is Scott. And this is Edward. And I had put them together to kind of compare because they really are spitting images. So that I'm keeping in the family album. So here we go. There's a box for me. This is all family. This is all Scott. This is William. This is Edward. And here is the bag for today with the boxes that I pulled out. And this is all of the plastic sleeves. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in there and I'm going to line them up so they're easily accessible. And you remember I had boxes of more pictures that were labeled like Ohio and all of that. All right, so those are going to go inside the family box. I barely have a minute to say goodbye, so let me tell you this, okay? This was super hard. I'm happy I did it, but this was emotionally very, very draining. I had a hard time. So anyway, all I'm trying to say here is that this was super hard, but it needed to be done. So I'm not sure if you are impressed with the result. I know that I brought in 3 more boxes. But I did get rid of 2 and a huge bag, but this needed to be done anyway. And 2 of those boxes were in the office upstairs, and all of the albums, you know, like the white albums with my pictures and everything, were in the office upstairs too. So I did clear out space upstairs, and now everything is here, and it doesn't need to be in the office. It can stay here. Again, the room there is dry, so I don't have to worry about anything. The stuff is protected. When I'm finally able to go back to scrapbooking and scanning and all of that, I can just do 1 box at a time, or I can do you know, whatever. It doesn't matter because the stuff will be easily found. Could I have pared down a little bit more? Sure. The portraits, for instance, you don't really need to keep multiple examples of the same portrait, maybe 1 or 2, and that's it. Same thing with the different sizes. Now everybody's got scanners, so you can actually scan this. I just don't have the time today to do that. My goal is to really declutter the house in 30 days. I can do that, again, I'm saying, at a later time, even though I keep on telling you don't say it. But really, like, this is not the goal. The goal for this project, this 30 bags in 30 days, is to declutter generally. And then if I go back to those boxes, or when I go back to those boxes, I can declutter some more. But personally, I'm happy with the result, considering that this was by far the hardest thing I've done in the 9 days I've been doing this. It was very easy for me to make decision until today. I guess the only thing I can give you as an insight is that it's got to get worse before it gets better. So just pull yourself by your pennies and just go through it. Again, this was a very emotional thing for me to do, but I'm still very happy I've done it, but I am wiped. It really wiped me out physically and emotionally. So I'm gonna leave it at that. Don't forget to watch other YouTubers who are doing the challenge. There's a new one, Deelovelylife, D-E-E. All of the links are down there. And then there's Melody and Rhonda and Michelle are doing it as well. You know, I'm welcoming you. Please join us. We are on a roll, and I guess we started a trend here. There's a lot of people doing this. They may not be doing YouTube videos, but they are doing this with us. And let me tell you, this is very liberating. It was tough today, you guys. I don't know if you got a sense of that watching this video, but I can tell you that this was really, really difficult for me to do. So tomorrow I'll do something completely different. Matter of fact, I think I need to get out of this room. So tomorrow I'll probably go back to the office. So I'm gonna leave it at that. Give me a thumbs up if you like it. Give me some encouragement, and I guess that would be it. So I will talk to you later for day number 10. We're almost halfway through, you guys, almost halfway through. Give a thumbs up and a shout out to all of the girls who are doing this. They are on Instagram, they are on my Facebook page. We are getting to be a crowd, okay? I'm not kidding. There's a crowd growing of people doing this challenge, and I think it's awesome. I love you all. Thanks for watching. Bye.